Many times in our lives, we do not realize that the little kid in us is the one who's running things. Have you ever been in a situation where you just had a tantrum? You react to things so quickly, you get upset so fast, and you're trying to figure, why I get mad like that so much? You privately think these things, and people are already talking about you, and they're trying to figure out why you spaz out like that. Why do you react like that? Or maybe you get overly emotional, or maybe you sit by yourself and you isolate yourself. You think you have these little thoughts that you deal with, like people don't really want to be my friend. People don't really like me. I don't fit in anywhere. Were you like that as a kid? Think back. Think back when your younger self, your extra younger self. I don't want you to talk about when you I want you really, really young. Think back to the 5-year-old, the 6-year-old, the 7-year-old. You may have had some hang-ups back then. Maybe you fight a lot right now, or you just want to beat somebody up all the time, or maybe sometimes you don't know how to communicate very well, and maybe you weren't, as a child, you weren't able to express your feelings. So guess what you do now? You have a hard time with that now. Your struggle is real. I can understand it personally, the things that I've struggled with growing up as an adult. I realized that the little girl in me was the one that was running this show for a very long time, and I wasn't aware of it. She's been in the driver's seat for a very long time. But you know what you got to do now? You have to allow her to be a passenger now. She's no longer going to be able to be driving because she's not safe for you at this age in your life. So you can't continue to operate as a 5-year-old and you 35 or you 40. You can't operate as even a 10-year-old and you 60. That 10-year-old gonna have to get in the passenger seat. If a 5-year-old in reality, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 7, 6, whatever, 3-year-old cannot lawfully drive in a vehicle, then surely she cannot operate, or he cannot operate your life. They're gonna think from a kid point of view. There are things they do not know that they cannot handle. And what's happening is you're walking around as a 40-year-old, 35-year-old, 70, even 70 sometimes, 60. You're walking around, 66. You're walking around as an older body. But that little kid in you has been running the show. What in your life can you look back on and see that was a little kid in me that reacted? That was a little kid in me that did that. That's a little kid in me that kept me from going forward, or even made me go forward. That was the little kid in me. See, the little kid in you have experienced some hurtful things and some pretty good things. And sometimes when it has experienced a pain and there's a familiar pain that has popped up again, it will remind you, remember last time when that happened, you remember what happened. We don't do that no more. Remember, we said we weren't going to do that. We don't talk to those kind of people. We don't have a lot of friends. Remember, because when we get a lot of friends, they hurt us. You cannot live like that for the rest of your life. Things in life change. There'll be a time in your life when you don't have any friends. And sometimes people will hurt you. Then there'll be time in your life when no one hurts you. And you'll have plenty and lots of friends. Then you'll have no friends again. And then friends again and no friends. But you have to remember in your life that there's growth going on. There's a lot of things that are happening because of growth. But the little girl in you don't understand that. Or the little boy in you don't understand that. You cannot allow the little kid in you to run the show. What you're going to do now is that they've experienced a lot of fear sometimes. And what they're holding you up from going forward with is because of fear. But how about if you taught it faith? They're only to protect you. That's all. They're just trying to keep you from going through that again. From experiencing that hurtful time or that frustrating and disappointment. That's all. Now you have to let them know that I'm strong enough. Matter of fact, we're strong enough you and I, to get through this together. I'm going to take this chance. And I know you're afraid right now, but I want to teach you that everything is not going to always turn out like it used to be. There are things in your life that you are struggling with right now. And it's because of the little kid in you. It is time for you to make peace with what's happened. Forgive what's happened. Let go of what's happened. And move on. Because life is still going on. You 55 now. Your daddy leaving you and the little girl remembering that, and your parents going through some kind of a divorce, or they beating you up, fighting, beating on you, and maybe they even your dad beat your mom, and maybe it was your mother who beat your dad. Or maybe your mom was real harsh with you, didn't give you enough love. And so you have created this protective measure and said, no one's going to hurt me anymore. I'm never going to let anybody talk bad to me again. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to speak up for myself. And then there will be some that won't speak at all. They'll just take things from people because they took it as a kid. Everybody's affected differently. Or you may say that because this person did this, I'm going to make sure I don't do that. Or that person didn't do that, so I'm not going to do it either. You know, there's a lot of things in our life as growing adults that we are not aware of. The kindest moment today for you would be to recognize these things in your life, to become aware, to be mindful of the hurts and the pains that have stopped you. But I want you to look back and evaluate it again, and I want you to see who experienced that. Who did? Yes, it was you, but was it the older you or the younger you? And you say, well, yeah, I was 35 when that dude, the guy, he left me and he hurt me. But why did it hurt so bad? Nobody likes to be hurt. Nobody likes to be left, of course. There are some people who can get left and they be like, whatever, see ya. Or some people just break down and just really detrimental to them. But why is it that detrimental? Why? That's the question you ask yourself. Why did that hurt so bad? Why did I take it like that? Why did it get me like that? There's somewhere in your life. Maybe somebody left you. Maybe you're afraid of people leaving you all the time. Like I said, it could be from some painful thing in your childhood that you're not aware of. Or in your younger self that you're not aware of. Not aware of. You don't trust people. You don't trust things. You don't try new things because you're afraid. Maybe something happened to you that stopped you. What stopped you? See, the thing about it is that the people that go through these things, you don't recognize that whatever age it was that you experienced that traumatic thing, you stopped living. If it was 5, then it happened. That means that you lived till 5, and all you've been doing now is trying to fight through and exist. Maybe if it happened when you were 12 or 7, maybe you were 10. There's so much going on in this world that we are not aware of. But the one thing we need to be aware of is things like this, because this will stop you from really living, really having a full, content life. You don't have to be suffering like this anymore. It is time to acknowledge where you are. Acknowledge what's going on with you. Are you hurting? Are you in pain? Are you frustrated? Are you at a point in your life where you feel so stuck that you can't come out? And you're trying to figure out why? And you mad at yourself? You may have some physical thing going on with you. You sick all the time. You got all these ailments. Maybe you overweight and you don't understand why you keep gaining weight, why you keep holding on to weight. Is there a weight you hold on in your life? Is this little girl in you still trying to hold something, protect something, take care of something that's above and beyond her? It is time for you to face up with the facts that there is something going on in my life that I need to fix. And the only person that can help you with that is going to be God. That's a God thing. You got to go to him and say, I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm ready to fix it. And he will help you do it. He will help you to heal that little child, the inner child in you. It is time, child. No more stress. No more feeling like you can't do it. No more fighting with yourself. But now we're going to become in harmony, in unity with ourselves, and we're going to make it to the other side. Well, this has been a kindness moment from Lady Dr. P. I hope that I have enlightened you and helped you become more aware of yourself and what's going on inside of you. This has been a kindness moment, and I'll see you again on the next round. God bless you.